Hola, ¿cómo están? Pues bien, estoy aquí de vuelta, ahora en esta nueva sección y nueva sesión, vamos a decirlo así, nuestra nueva modalidad. Primera vez que hago estos videos, denme muchos likes, bueno, los que pueda. Y bien, hoy voy a darles una pequeña clase para algunos chicos, chicas, ya de ahí me están saludando. Conocen ya muy bien lo que es el simple past o el past simple. Lo que vamos a hacer es un repaso, un review. Pues les pido a todos mucho cuidado, cuídense y empecemos. Ok, vamos a empezar en inglés. Sí, está bien de que ustedes se vayan acostumbrando un poquito más a la conversación y clase de inglés. Ok, well, boys and girls, hi, how are you today? We're going to start today our session, English section, and simple past. Today we have this structure. This is very important to know about these structures in affirmative. This is for the negative, and this is for interrogative form. We have simple past. This is our topic today. Now, first, the information bank is all the structures, all the information I need to do to make a sentence in past simple. We have the pronouns I, you, he, she, it, we, they. It's very important you to know the meaning in Spanish. Yo, tú, él, ella. My question is very simple. You do remember what pronouns are called third persons? Tell me. Can you tell me what are the third persons in this structure, the first structure? Okay? I can? Yes, I hear that you are saying he, she, and it. Remember, he, she, and it are the third persons. Remember that always. We have the singulars, and we have the plurals. Then, the next part is the regular verb. In green color we have the regular verbs. The regular verbs are very simple, but remember in the past form or in past participle we have the ending ed for regulars. Now let's go to the next section. It's in yellow color. What do you think they are? Regular. No, it's irregular verbs. Irregular verbs. We have do, did, see, so, go, went, have, had. We don't need to use the ending ed, no, because they are irregular. That's why their name has. That's what they are, irregular verbs. In this section, in blue color, we have the nouns, and in the brown color, we have the adjectives. Adjectives. Okay, the nouns and the adjectives. In the last part, in here, in our information bank, we have the time expressions. 2 weeks ago, yesterday, last year, at night, in the morning, or last week. Yes, you're right. They are only to be used for past simple, past forms. Now, you don't need to use the verb or the time expression of today or tomorrow, because today or right now, it's right this moment. It's in the present, the present progressive. Tomorrow means about future, so it's not necessary in this verb tense. Only we use 2 weeks ago, yesterday, last year, at night, in the morning, and last week. Here we have this important section. This is a very typical and useful structure. These tables are always, they will always be the same to make a simple past form. In affirmative, we have the subject pronoun, subject or pronoun. We have the verb. We have the complement. In Spanish, we say sujeto, verbo y predicado. But in English, sorry for giving back, We have the subject, we have the verb, and the complement, which is in Spanish again, sujeto, verbo y predicado. That's very simple part. In negative, in Espanol is the same, but we use no in this case, no, or not in this case. In English, is always used with an auxiliary, the auxiliary. So let's go first. Subject or pronoun. Then we have the auxiliary and not. Always they work together. They work together. The auxiliary and not for negatives. Then we have the verb and the complement. Okay? Okay, well, once we have known about this affirmative and the negative, let's go to the interrogative form. Interrogative. Don't forget the question mark at the end. It's the only question mark we use always, not in Spanish. In Spanish we use the first one and the last one. So in this part, in this section, it's only the last question mark. Okay, this is something important to know. From the negative, subject and auxiliary, in interrogative, we cross them. We put the auxiliary first and the subject in the second part. But we don't use not. It's only auxiliary, just the auxiliary form. That's it. The auxiliary, subject or pronoun, the verb. Here we have. This was from the other class, and the complement. Okay, check this again. The auxiliary, subject, verb, and complement. Only for the interrogative, we just do this. We just cross the auxiliary before and the pronoun or subject. Check this. The verb practically doesn't move. The complement, they don't move. They keep always the same structure, straight. Yes? Sometimes in question forms, we have the famous WH questions such as what, who, where, or when. We have more. We have much more of them. Okay. Then the last part of this, we have from every question, there should be an answer. Answers can be in affirmative or answers can be in negative. We also have short answers and then we have long answers. In this case, we're going to use only the short answers. Okay, what are we going to do? Well, we have here, we have the endings, we have the auxiliaries, we have the WH questions, and we have our information bank. Here we go. Here we go. Now let's go cooking, and we're gonna start right now with the third persons. Would you like to use a third person and in plural form? Well, let's go with this. Let's go with she. Okay, let's work with she as a subject or pronoun. She. Okay, we need to use now a verb. We need to use a verb. What verb would you like to use? Well, what about want? Okay, she want. Okay, now you have to tell me if we are making a right sentence or wrong sentence. Is the sentence right? Tell me. You have 5 seconds to tell me. Is it right? Remember, we are using past simple or simple past. Well, yes, you're right. The structure and she and want, the verb is incorrect because in the past forms are the regular verbs always use this ed form. So then we can paste it just right here. She wanted. Now it's correct. and it's in affirmative form. She wanted. She wanted what? She wanted what? She wanted homework? I don't think so. She wanted a movie? Well, she wants a movie. But how about this? Enchiladas. Maybe she's starving and she wants enchiladas. Well, remember, it's about past. She wanted enchiladas. She wanted enchiladas. Enchiladas. When? When? She wanted enchiladas when? Maybe yesterday. Okay, so then in the complement we use the time expressions. She wanted enchiladas yesterday. She wanted enchiladas yesterday, and I wanted enmoladas or frijoladas yesterday. But I had some scrambled eggs. That's okay. Well, continue. She wanted enchiladas yesterday. That's the affirmative form. That's the affirmative. Now how about a plural form? Would you like to use we or they? Remember, singulars: I, you, he, she, it. Sometimes you is for singular and plural, because remember, yes, you do remember, you means tú or usted, and in plural form is ustedes. So let's go with they. Do you like they? Yes? Alright. They what? What can we say? They let's go with the verb steady. Do you like steady? Not all of you guys don't like steady. Okay, now take a look. Is correct? Or do I have to make a change? How about another verb? Because steady, remember, steady is irregular. Let's use an irregular form. How about do or did? Do or did. Remember, do is hacer, and the past of do is did. So we are talking about the past. Are we gonna use this? No, it's not really. It's not correct. Yes, exactly. We will use did. They did what? They did enchiladas again? No. They did something logical. We don't say they did at the office or they did at home. Doesn't make sense. They did sick. Yeah, it can be enchiladas, but we are using enchiladas in this part. So let's go. They did homework. They did homework. That makes sense. Some of you don't like to do homeworks, boys. Some of you don't. Now, they did homework when? When they did, okay, they did homework last week. Okay, let's just use last week. Here we have now the third persons and persons in plural, the person in plural. She wanted enchiladas yesterday and they did homework last week. Okay, this is for affirmative forms. Now let's go to negative form. Okay, continue with this. She. Same. Remember, it's always the same. The subject pronoun or pronoun she. Okay. Now let's go with the negative. We need to go with the auxiliaries. Remember, for past simple, we just only need to use did or didn't. For past progressive, which is different from past simple, we need was, wasn't, were, weren't. But for past simple, yes, we use did or didn't. Negative form, auxiliary not. She didn't. Yes, you're right. We use she didn't in negative. Ella no. Ella no. She didn't. Continue with the verb. Alright, the verb is want. You probably may say that this is correct. She didn't want it. Okay. Now, this ED part is not possible because we have now the auxiliary. She didn't want the verb. The verb is in simple form. No wanted. She didn't want. Okay, the verb is in present. Don't forget it. Always. Every verb you use in simple past, negative is always in present or simple form. She didn't want. Let's go with this. Enchiladas. She didn't want enchiladas yesterday. That was yesterday. She didn't want enchiladas yesterday. Okay? You see? That's very easy. Piece of cake. She didn't want enchiladas yesterday. Check. Wanted in affirmative. Didn't want in negative form. She didn't want enchiladas yesterday. Let's continue with the plurals. They. What's the negative with the pronouns they? The same. She didn't, they didn't. Means I didn't. Repeat with me. I didn't. You didn't. He didn't. She didn't. It didn't. You didn't. We didn't. They didn't. So they are the negative form. She didn't. They didn't. Now we have to respect the same verb. They didn't. Oops. They didn't. We need something to work on here. They didn't do. Oh, I forgot to use do in this case. Wait a second. I'm gonna make a little change. I'm gonna get my marker. Bueno.